Hey guys, welcome to Castle of Legends. Just thought I'd share a build that I had in mind over the weekend. It was basically just taking a couple of cars and combining them into a double decker. Originally, I was thinking I'd build another war rig model, or just some kind of a double decker vehicle with some tank tracks at the back. I hadn't done anything with tank tracks just yet, so I kind of wanted to mess around with a model like this, and I kind of like this yellow. I kind of wanted to figure out a way to turn this yellow car into something. I like the engine, and I like the smokestacks out the top of it, but that's really about it. So it looked really good as a flat platform, and I thought I could easily put maybe like another model like directly on top of it, and just maybe even cut a hole like in the hood for that engine. So, but anyways, I had an idea of actually putting a plow in the front of it. This is me just kind of scoping out what it may look like if I fit a plow to it, and then just experimenting with some tracks that I had in my bits box. So yeah, just kind of mocking up like how this is going to look, and realizing that I'm going to have to modify the metal base of the yellow car. I ended up just kind of bending the front and mainly actually the rear areas out, just to kind of fit in the tracks and then fit in these big oversized tires that I've got from a dollar store, and then figure out how am I going to glue everything together. So this is like how the base is turning out. I use a lot of I use like hot glue and some crazy glue to hold it all together. And I kind of was thinking maybe I'd build my own like wireframe body for it instead of using the purple car. But I gotta do that sometime. Build a whole car from scratch using maybe like I don't know, paper clips or something like that. So anyways, I really liked how this was turning out so far. And yeah, and then I mounted this scoop instead as the front dozer. I thought it was a little better than the previous one that I had. Okay, so far I've got got this bad boy built this far, and at first I was trying to decide, like, do I want to leave it as like as a base, and then just basically mount the top on here. I found my Dremel, so I could actually cut this away, and then or even use basically I can use this template here as a guide. I can make like a hole, just kind of cut this out. But I don't know, I'm kind of leaning toward making like this as like a war rig kind of a base. For some reason I actually like it just like this, and I thought maybe I'll just make a custom body or something over top of it. It is kind of neat. I mean, it does have a seat. There's probably something I could do with this to make it like that. If I find another one of these cars, like, the idea behind this too is just to take something that looked kind of crappy, see what it looked like underneath. And I mean, this one had a great looking big engine in it. So let's just go. I want to do a double decker, so so this is what it will look like. Just kind of mocking up. And I went ahead when I actually took the pink car apart. Is it pink or magenta? Anyways, I kind of wrecked the back, but it's not a big deal. What I'm going to do is I'll glue it back, and what I can see is just figuring out a way. I'm going to bring my tractor into the shot. shortly just to you know, kind of get the sizing right. But this is about as long as I think it should be. This might end up just being like a large vehicle and not necessarily like a tractor for a war rig, because it's going to end up getting to be a little too long. Probably the right way to do it is actually just to cut away the hood and make it a double decker. But I don't know. Let's just see how it will turn out by mounting this back up here. I was originally thinking about putting some plastic card like doweling in here to extend these out, but I don't know. It's a lot of extra surgery. So probably what I'm gonna just do is, and I'll probably just do it right now, is actually, you know what? I think I just realized I glued all this together. So darn, that's too bad. I can't do it because I've actually glued this all together and I won't be able to take it apart now. So so we're going to go with plan A, which is going to be sticking in some dowelings in there and cutting this up later, and then gluing these the extensions to the top, or just making new ones that will look a little bit more custom when it's all done. So let's get going on mounting this together. Okay, so basically going to try to mount on the you know, the purple car. I noticed that these little tabs are sticking out the back, and I thought it best to clip those off just to make it a little bit more of a flatter surface for the chassis to be able to be, you know, glued directly onto the top of the vehicle. So again, I'm just using a little bit of hot glue, and just makes it a lot faster than using just like crazy glue. I mean, kind of depends on what you're gluing, but I figured I was going to glue something heavy to the top of this. So I wanted, you know, that extra adhesive to cover more surface area. I think I'd use a lot of crazy glue for something like that. So hot glue is a good answer. So yeah, I'm just trying to, you know, use some crazy glue and some hot glue again on the back here, just to you know, reattach the car. And you know, once that's all done and kind of set, if you really want to, you know, accelerate the you know, the gluing process, you can, you know, you can put a little bit of extra, knowing that if you're going to cover it up. But what I also do is I'll take the models, and I'll actually put it in the freezer for a few minutes, just to make sure that you know, it's able to you know, kind of set pretty fast. So so once I've got this thing all ready to go, upstairs it goes into the freezer for a few minutes, and that's it. Okay, so for the back support, I was still trying to figure out like what I was going to use to, secure the back portion of the purple car, and I had this German Pack 40 gun kit that I had used. I knew I had some leftover bits, and I've been planning on wanting to use these. I don't know. I guess you call them like legs for the guns, and I thought it'd look pretty cool on the back of this project. So I was able to. I just basically I know I had four of them, so I just use a couple for this, and I'll use the other bits like for some other projects. So I was just trying to decide like if I'm going to use one and use dual exhaust, or use two and make like one single big ass pipe that's going to go out the back of the vehicle. Again, sorry for the camera angle on this. I got to get better at making sure that the car is in the center of the screen at all times. But anyways, it's just the way I was filming it. Okay, so here I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do, a back tailpipe for the whole car. Trying to decide if it's going to look decent enough to have dual exhaust or just one. Um, so decided to go with just like one big pipe sticking out the back, and what I thought would be cool to do is just kind of cut the edges of it at the end, make it look like a really kind of an old like busted out pipe that just kind of exploded at some point. And the guys that were building the car, in theory, just didn't really care how it looked. So I'm just using some hot glue to secure it on the back, like literally on the back of the I guess the base car, and then underneath the pink car. Okay, so now I'm just trying to decide on picking out some guns for the car. I'm gonna settle in on these Games Workshop 40K blasters for Space Marines. I thought they would look kind of cool on the top of the vehicle. Kind of like the old 1989 Batman car. With the dual machine guns kind of sticking out the top. And I thought I'd just use the holes that were already there. left over for the for the original blue exhaust pipes that were originally on the car that I kind of forgot to put back myself. So this is looking pretty good. Got the guns attached, and now I'm gonna try to attach some screening to this car, and you know, I don't know. For some reason, I had a heck of a time trying to get something to stick properly to it. I never had any issue before, but I think just because of the size of the openings and the angle, this like I guess it's drywall screening I was using just was not cooperating with me. But in the end, I ended up leaving about a lot of glue residue around the edges of the car, and it created like a very interesting kind of rust effect that I use in combination with some flour, which you'll see soon enough. But yeah, I was trying to put some. Originally, I was putting some metal screening on it, and then I decided to go a different route. Okay, so the screening was not working for me, so I decided to start actually just adding armor to the car instead. And what I did was I just started to cut some paper and make some strips. And I think I just cut way too many, but anyways, I got one strip out that I kind of liked, and just to give it a little bit of armor, down the middle, and got out some crazy glue and just simply put some dabs of glue on the top of it where I wanted it to be, and I laid it down, and it just basically soaks in place. And once it's down there, it's not really going to come off unless you want to have like a rip paper on your car. But anyways, I got and then I used some of the paper for the sides of the yellow base, like where I had some gaps. I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, there's some gaps. I didn't quite have the two sides like completely fitted back together again because of the because of the tires, and also the treads being a little oversized. So I kind of knew I was just going to cover up those gaps with some paper, and the paper is so flexible, so you can pretty much blend it into anything, and it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I could have even painted it like all one color, and it would look fine. Okay, so I had some problems with the gun, like the back pieces there, like this back supports, but I was able to secure them with some white glue and just add some stone to the model overall using white glue, and just kind of in the front, like in the front scoop as well as like the sides, and just started to add some details overall. And then then what I ended up doing was get some crazy glue, and I kind of went a little bit overboard with the flour that I used, but I used flour instead of like baking soda, to kind of create some more rust effect on it. Took all that off, and then I primered it in black as well as like a brown metallic, sort of like a base rust color that I like to use. And this is kind of like how it turned out. I actually kind of like it like this, not without any additional paint. But then I started, to adding like the paint details, like the purple was first. And then I started to, move into, the much lighter color. Um, so yeah, I took like a light beige color, and I started just kind of use like a stippling method over the whole roof of the car. Um, the whole idea of this model was going to be kind of like the Phantom, like the comic book character. Once I put the armor on it, like that piece of paper on it, I thought that looked like a mask, and I don't know, the purple color itself looked a lot like the old, the Phantom. And then I thought, okay, the base is like kind of like the horse that he rides on. Even though it's not white, I thought, can't have it really white, but maybe I could have it sort of an off-white color. And so I use this beige all over the place. They kind of lighten it up as well. They kind of give it a bit of like a primer color. I kind of just did it all over pretty much everything that wasn't the purple car. Um, to kind of give it some contrast. So yeah, just gonna keep trying to lighten it up a bit with this beige color, and see what I can do to give it a little bit of a contrast between the base color and the purple. It's definitely a lot of like blending involved, and just sort of adding paint details where you can. Okay, so now what I'm going to be doing here is painting the front bumper, or not a bumper, the front plow red. I knew I planned on making it a little bit more of like a rusty color than anything. So using like a base red was a good start. And then I know I was going to put the pastel rust effects on it later on. Okay, so basically what we're going to do here now is just kind of go over again a few areas where I needed some more, metal touch-ups, and some areas that I actually accidentally painted with the beige, especially on the engine. The engine was sort of like the focal point of the whole model, besides the purple car. So, I really wanted to kind of try to make that a standout as much as I could, and just kind of going over the machine guns and the engine with the same base color was the right thing to do in terms of detailing. Okay, so with a lot of like pastel shading, a little bit of makeup, kind of dusting as well that I've been using. This is the end result of all that crazy work, and as you can see, there was a lot of like some dry brushing around the windows of the purple car to further enhance the rust. And I kind of went over the purple again as well. And some of I didn't record all the footage for that, but I kind of went back over, kind of bring out the purple color again, and then I kind of used some of like pastels to create the rust effect on the roof, and then just really kind of make it like this dirty, grimy, rusty, post-apocalyptic, Hot Wheels model of mayhem that you know looks like it's seen its share of battles, and I kind of liked how the rust, the effect of like the dirty roof, or the hood, I should say, turned out after all. The coloration is kind of on the funky side. Underneath, I tried to make it a little bit more rusty, and then also like some dirt. I used some stone and white glue to help secure those darn supports in place. I was having such a hard time, so I use white glue, and they don't move now. So it was pretty good. But yeah, as you can see from the hood of the car and like around the windows here, I some of it's actually the beige color from the base. I kind of just rubbed it along here with like a dry brush to kind of just really make it stand out. If there's lots of little bumps and nicks and things like that, you can always do that. It's really adds to the vehicle quite well. So never worry about if you make a mistake or a boo boo or something, and you can always just like use it as a paint detail later on. So hopefully you guys like this build. If you like what you see, just let me know in the comments below, and if you can subscribe to the channel if you're interested in just seeing some more builds. Please feel free to do so, and thank you for stopping by. Have a great day.